be able to go through the website with me. So I'm going to share my screen and walk everybody through the Sacred Pause experience. So this is really about exhaling, taking the time, the sacred time to exhale, reconnect, and feel whole again. I want you to think about, if you're a mom, I want you to think about what life would look and feel like if you slowed down, if you stopped feeling so rushed, if you stopped feeling so overwhelmed. And just take a moment to imagine what that kind of a shift could mean in your life. The Sacred Pause experience, I'll just sum it up very quickly, is a bundle of 4 magic rituals. And these rituals are designed to help you get a sense of relief from all the noise and the busyness. It does this by infusing this sense of inner peace and spaciousness into your world. So I really want you to think about what your life looks like now and what it could look like with more spaciousness and more inner peace. That's really what this is all about. This is a $47 bundle. I want it to be accessible. And really it's about, given the state of affairs, given the fact that many of us are feeling shocked by, the year plus events, and overwhelmed and fed up perhaps with the state of world affairs. Maybe you feel ready to claim your power to be the change maker because you're seeing that change needs to be made and you want to play a more active role in doing that, but you're tired, your day-to-day is very, very full and you don't even know where to start. Maybe your nervous system feels a wreck, and maybe you're craving some calm and some quiet that will allow you not only to relax and to rest, but just to hear yourself, to come back into connection with yourself, to hear maybe your soul's voice again. Maybe you feel like you're somebody who overthinks things. That's me. Maybe you've heard your intuition sort of coming up with messages, but the message isn't loud enough, or you don't honor the space and the time because you just have to keep going with everything. Though, deep down, that your intuition is going to guide you to be that bold woman who has everything she needs to be that full, authentic expression of her glorious self, that cultural change maker that your children are going to look up to and that the beloved planet really needs right now. It's time. And I get it. Mom life is busy. Mom life is loud. Your news and your social media feeds are even louder. And I should just add, there's also that kind of inner voice inside of you that tells you that putting yourself first above the needs of others is futile or selfish, maybe. So despite all of this, despite that inner voice, despite the fact that mom life is busy and loud, despite like that constant noise coming from the news or your social media feed, that in order to be the change that you want to see in the world, you have to recalibrate, you have to ground, and you have to center yourself. You have to step into that woman. You know what it feels like after the yoga class when you're all zen-like? That's the woman you want to step into. And that's what these 4 rituals are going to help you to do. But they're going to help you to do this in your own home and in a way that is repeatable and that you can guide yourself. So the Sacred Pause experience is something that I'm really proud of. It's a product of over a year's hard work, and it was heart and intuitive led. So I'll just get, to what it is. It's a simple 4-day experience. It's designed for mothers who are really ready to stop Stop with that what the fuck overwhelm, right? That so much of us experience all the time, and step into a place of calm. Hello. And step into a place of calm and grounded confidence so that you can really relax into living more in alignment with what's most important to you. You can boost this is what happened to me, which was absolutely amazing. Boost your focus and your productivity levels, because when you're calm and relaxed, you're actually more efficient and effective and focused. You will start to feel more confident in who you are and more authentic in your relationships. And you will get a sense of inner peace and a sense of inner trust. And also what I experienced was more joy and more pleasure in my day-to-day, because these rituals are really fun. They're also fun and they're really creative. So it's not only about calm and zen and relax, it's also about pleasure and joy and fun. So I believe, and it was my experience, that when you integrate these rituals into your life, life will start to feel more sacred for you. Your creative juices will start flowing. Like I said, you'll start to feel more productive. And even I had this sense of personal empowerment. So even though they're really simple, they're also really transformative. And they're short too. So there's so many wonderful things about the rituals that make up the Sacred Pause experience. They're short, they're healing, they're relaxing, they're pleasurable, they're fun. And each one is aligned with one of the 4 phases of the nature cycle and one of the 4 elements that make nature up. So the first one is associated with the element of air. And even though it's a water alchemy intention setting ritual, it's associated with air because the air element is that element that's associated with our mind and our ideas, and it's associated with the Eastern direction, and it's associated with new beginnings. So we start off with that one. And then the second one, which is associated with the second phase of the cycle, is your fire dance ritual. And this is really that, sensual sort of being completely in your body and feeling the fire and the passion inside of you as you dance. It's a very, very powerful ritual. And then the third one, which is I love them all, but because my favorite element to work with is water, which is associated with the autumn season and release and letting go and cleansing, is the sacred bath. So that's the third ritual that you get, and it's absolutely delicious. And then the fourth ritual you get is the grounding ritual. So this is the earth grounding ritual. And it is just, you walk out of that one almost in nap mode. Like, it's just so relaxing. And tomorrow I'm going to hop on live and I'm going to talk in detail about each of the rituals, what they're made up of, and so that you get a sense of, what you're buying with this $47. Each ritual, all of them together are designed to help you master 3 things. And it feels kind of crazy for me to say this out loud, but the world we live in doesn't help us master these 3 things, especially when you're a mom and you're rushed. And those 3 things are the art of relaxing, the art of trusting, and the art of enjoying. So when you do these, when you start to integrate these into your life, your chill out muscle will get stronger, and you will learn how to slow down and find inner peace more on demand than you do now. So you're really going to step into these rituals and activate your parasympathetic nervous system. So your parasympathetic nervous system is your body's rest, restore, and heal mechanism. And because they're each associated with and draw upon one of the 4 elements, I use that element to help you to relax. And I teach you how to lean into that element through the ritual. And so that's essentially, I've got that in mind in the design of each ritual, the relaxation piece. And then the trusting piece is really beautiful, because When you start to practice the rituals and associate them with the different elements and the different sort of seasons of nature's cycle or phases of nature's cycle, you begin to feel, and this was my experience, so non-negotiable actually. You begin to feel like you're some part of something bigger. And you know, when you're in your body and you feel safe in your body and you start to tune into your intuitive wisdom, you stop self-doubting, you stop overthinking, and you stop looking for answers outside of yourself. These rituals become a means of you finding your truth, of you accessing the answers that you maybe used to go to experts for. So it's going to invite you to really connect with your inner knowing and trust your inner knowing. And constantly be reminded that divine guidance does actually come from within. So that's how I use the rituals to support you to master the art of trusting. Now, to master the art of enjoyment, well, they're just so fun, right? So being in your body in a relaxed way, whether it be listening to and moving to music, or it be, you know, just chilling out in the bath, or, you know, doing this gorgeous, delicious body scan, which you do in the last ritual, the earth grounding ritual. All of these things helps you to develop a relationship of love towards your body and to feel this sense of joy and pleasure and sacred connection. So you start to feel more self-worth, more like this queen goddess that you actually were born to be. So that's where the joy comes in. That's where mastering the art of enjoyment comes in. And you'll learn, like I said, that when you do this, you know, regularly, when you start to integrate these rituals into your life regularly, and when I say regularly, let me just back up a little bit. When you invest in your Sacred Pause experience, when you pay the $47 for this $145 product, you are invited to do one each day. So the first ritual on day 1, the second on day 2, the third on day 3, and the last on day 4. But once you've done them once, I'm going to invite you to a live gathering. So all Sacred Pause Experience alumni will be invited to a live gathering where we will talk, or I will teach you how to use these rituals within the context of the moon cycles, within the context of your feminine cycle, within the context of the season, so that you can start to strategically use them to support you where you're at. And so I'm not saying that this is something you need to do every day, but you can learn how to use these in a way that works for you and that harnesses the cosmic, the lunar, or the biological energies inside and around you, which is a really beautiful thing. It's in the pause, and I think this is really important. There's this quote, Viktor Frankl. Let's see if I don't destroy the quote. Between stimuli and response, there is a pause, and in that pause lies your power. What is it? Your freedom to liberation, because it's in that pause that you choose what you're going to do. And so I want to add on to that, those super wise words, by saying that it's in the pause and that inner peace in that moment that you learn to cultivate your change-making purpose and energy. It's in that pause where you learn to really connect with who you are and what you're about. It's here that your body and your soul come into alignment and you can begin to step into your authenticity and your potential. And the reason I've created it now is because I believe, and I think you're going to agree with me, that the world needs more feminine leaders who do things in a way that is balanced. So they use their brains and they use their hearts. They definitely move forward and accomplish stuff, but they also take time to reflect and rest and ponder and tune in to their inner knowing. So that there's the balance between doing and being, and integrating the sacred pause into our lives not only supports us to be wiser in the way we lead, but it also helps us to get to know ourselves and our power and hear our intuition and to understand, to connect with our souls and to feel that trust and that confidence to be the leaders that we need to be. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I really believe that the world needs more feminine leaders, but it also needs more mom leaders. The world needs more mom leaders, and the world needs you and your soul in tip-top shape. So consider the Sacred Pause experience as your invitation and your permission slip, because a lot of us don't give ourselves permission to slow down and pause. It's that permission slip and that invitation to step into the sacredness that is your life and the world-changing power that you have as a leader. So, for those of you who don't know me, who watch this video, my name's Alexandra Hughes. I am a feminine leadership coach. I'm also an energy healer. I use a technique called Beyond Quantum Healing. And I'm also losing my voice. And I am the mother of three. I live with my husband and my three children. Right now we live in Brazil. We are a nomadic family. So we are expats who travel around the globe, and we have lived on 4 continents over the last 14 years. I speak 4 languages that I've learned, throughout my travels. And I have a multidisciplinary background in environmental studies and in a master's in development studies, which I did in the UK. So I was born in Peru, but I was raised in Canada. So I consider myself a Peruvian Canadian. And I'm just going to say that the reason the Sacred Pause was born was because I desperately needed it. Until last year, I would have described myself as a busy, overwhelmed mom of 3. And even though, I had a business that I was at that time passionate about, I did feel like there were many competing demands and that I was struggling. I was constantly kind of going uphill in making the family, and just keeping the family and house life going and creating this profitable business. And I would say that, post Sacred Pause, I'm obviously still that mom and still that wife and still that business owner, but I use different words to describe my life. Now my life feels spacious. It feels relaxing, creative, it feels pleasurable, and it feels easy. And that includes my work life. So that includes my business life. I want to tell you, what the Sacred Pause looked and felt like for me. And everybody's experience will be different. But basically, when COVID came along last year in 2020, I felt this calling to stop. And I looked at my finances, and I was able to take a short sabbatical from my business and lean on my husband at the time. And I know not everybody has that privilege, but during that time when I was able to do that, I just focused on this internal healing and resting process. It was my sacred pause. I spent time in the bath. I spent time in the garden. I walked, and I really went inwards to listen to the internal workings of my mind, but also of my heart. And the more I paused, the clearer the messages came from my heart and from my soul. And so, for me, the biggest takeaway, and again, this is going to be true for some people who do the sacred pause, but not for everybody. Everybody's going to have their own experience and their own results. For me, I I discovered my soul's purpose. Really, I in the end, I shut down my business and I opened up a new one. I felt this really strong call to create a sacred pause, hence the sacred pause experience for other mothers around the world. I felt this incredible trust, the sense of belonging to something bigger than myself. I felt healing. I started to feel more confident, more fully alive in myself, more authentic. I started to feel whole, like those parts of myself, that intuitive side of myself, that witchy side of myself that I'd been kind of hiding in the closet. It was coming out, and I was able and courageous enough to embrace it. And I really felt connected, not only to my earth and my intuition, but to the cosmos and to my soul. And so it was really incredibly transformative for me. Let me just explain a little bit, though, about how it actually works. Like, I'm going to come down from like the transformative spiritual side and talk a little bit about how the sacred pause actually works for you. So, when you sign up for the sacred pause, when you click on that, yes, I am in, I want my own sacred pause experience, when you click on that button, you are going to gain access to a welcome video that's going to explain to you everything you need to know. And it's going to teach you how to optimize all the elements of the sacred pause. So there are 4 essential elements of the sacred pause. And the first is those rituals that I was telling you about. You get those on the course platform, and you will get reminders every day in your inbox for 4 days, about which will give you the link to the audio. So they're guided audios, and they're less than 30 minutes each. I chose 30 minutes because I feel like for some of you, it may feel like a stretch. Like, you may say to yourself, I don't have 30 minutes. And if that's you, then I want you to really like ask yourself that question again. And, is it really true that you don't have 30 minutes? What if you didn't spend one night not doing Netflix, or one night not scrolling, just zoning out? And I do it too, but just try to calculate the amount of time that you put into that. Is it really true that you don't have 30 minutes that you can dedicate to yourself? Because you deserve 30 minutes. And if you don't, then I want you to think about how you can access it. So I didn't want to make it too short because I want to challenge mothers to really take those 30 minutes. But they're definitely not more than 30 minutes long. That was my like, okay, this is fair, right? And then so those are the 4 rituals. And then the second element is this beautiful sacred pause, do not disturb poster. And so the do not disturb poster is really pretty, and it's there for you to put on the door between you practicing your sacred pause ritual and those wonderful humans that love you so much that they can't ever leave you alone. So I've designed a do not disturb poster. I have also designed it's a list of mindset mantras. So a lot of the time we tell ourselves things that get in our own way, like, oh, but taking time for myself is selfish. And oh, but if I don't take care of them or complete what's on my never ending to-do list, then, everything will fall apart. And these things that we tell ourselves. And so what I've done is I've taken all that messaging, the self-talk, the limiting beliefs, and I have created mantras that you can use to replace the limiting self-talk that you already have going on. And so that is part of the sacred pause experience. And then I've also created this really pretty sacred pause wallpaper. And so this is wallpaper that you can put on your phone, because of course we're always looking at our phones, as a gentle reminder of what a revolutionary and courageous and healing choice you have made. This is an investment in your time, in your energy, and in your money. And this is the wallpaper is meant to serve as a reminder that you need to honor that investment, because it's really important. So those are the 4 elements: the rituals, the do not disturb poster, the smartphone wallpaper, and then the mantras. Those are the 4 elements of the Sacred Pause experience. But then I've also created this really fabulous bonus. This bonus is called the Beautiful Boundaries bonus, and it's a support kit that I designed for, well, moms like me. It took me, and it's a journey, ages to really get clear on boundaries and how to get clear on what my boundaries were and to really honor them and to invite people to help me to honor them. And so what I did was I created a boundaries checklist. So this is a checklist that you are going to look at before you start your Sacred Pause experience or any other boundary making adventure that you're going to use in the future. And you're just going to make sure that you've got everything set up that you need to set yourself up for success, right? So you've got your space, you've had your conversations, you've carved out the time in your calendar. So you've got everything on the checklist that you need to go through. And then I've created a boundary script, which, if you should desire, can actually memorize, and you can, or you can read it to your partner. I found that, in the early days when I was so worried about hurting other people's feelings by honoring my own boundaries, and I was such a people pleaser within the family environment, that I found that it was really hard for me to have these conversations when I would say, this is what I need. Can you help me to honor that need? So what I did was I created a script based not only on my experience, but on the experience of many of my private clients and women who went through the Share the Load course, which is a course that I offered in 2018. And I'm giving it to you so that you can memorize it. Preferably you personalize and adapt it, but you've got the basic template there so that you can use that in your conversations to help you keep your sacred pause sacred and to really ensure that you get it done. Now, this isn't limited to the Sacred Pause. The Beautiful Boundary Support Kit is a support kit that you can use for any kind of boundary setting adventure that you have. So that's really exciting. So let me just review. The Sacred Pause experience, it's valued at over $145, but it's $47 right now until May 17th, which is next Monday. It includes 4 30 minutes or less soul feeding rituals. It includes the sacred mindset shift mantras. It includes your do not disturb posters, your smartphone wallpaper, and it also includes this beautiful boundaries support kit that has your boundaries checklist and your boundaries script. So you can head on over to alexandrahughes.com/sacred pause experience if you're interested in seeing, all of this written down on the web and getting all the details. I have frequently asked questions there. I have, here's a really good question. So who is the Sacred Pause experience for? So I actually believe that everybody on the planet needs a sacred pause, but this I've designed specifically for mothers who have very full lives, who really care about being conscious and present and there for their children. So they're real carers, but at the same time, they've got this drive to make the world a better place. And they know that making the world a better place is not only about, moving up the professional ladder. It's about being the change that you want to see, both at home and in the workplace. So this, and I go into detail about this on the webpage, but the Sacred Pause experience is really made for that kind of a mother who really wants to be the change and who wants to make the change, she's invested in the future of the planet for her children. And she feels she's big-hearted, she's passionate, she's sensitive, she's empathetic, and she's a doer too, though. She's really achieving. So she's trying to find that balance. And these rituals are designed to help her. You can be, a mother who works outside the home for somebody else, or maybe works inside the home for somebody else. Maybe you're a full-time employed mother. It could be for the entrepreneurial mom who owns the business and is also, managing the home and the family. It's also for the stay-at-home mom, the unpaid working mom who is really committed full-time to her family and to her home. So I explain in detail, and I think I'll do another video specifically about this, but I explain in detail, who this is actually for and why. So here's what you have to do. Well, first of all, I just want you to go, let's go back and play the imagination game for a second. Let's just imagine what your days would look like if they felt more spacious and there was more sort of inner peace and you felt calmer and more grounded and confident is what I was going to say. And as though you were guided by, you had like this divine support team. Imagine what that would feel like to have this divine support team. And imagine having that confidence and that capacity to sort of, honor your boundaries, honor time for yourself so that you were more efficient in the way that you used your time. And there was just a sense of knowing and loving and trusting yourself. I just want you could even close your eyes and just imagine what that would look like, because this is a transformation that is truly priceless. It's a gift to you. It's a gift to your family. And let's be honest, it's a gift to the world, because the world needs more lit up, alive, wide awake moms who are stepping into their powers as leaders. And I'm not talking about like leaders, CEO, political leaders. I'm talking about being the change you want to see within the context of choice. So within your home, within your community, within your workplace. And it's so much easier to do that. In fact, I would argue that if you want to do that in an authentic way, then you really do need to be fully connected with yourself. And you need to have those tools, and you need to feel that sense of trust as well. So we go back to the kind of relaxed trust and enjoyment piece, and being able to master those arts, right? So let's see. What did I want to say? Oh, here's what you have to do. So head on over to alexandrahughes.com/sacred pause experience, and I'll put the link below. And have a look. And I'd love to hear what you think. This was born and made public yesterday. So I would love to hear what your thoughts are on it. It is, like I said, it's $47. So I want to make it affordable to everybody. And it's a really great deal because it can be totally and completely transformational. And like I said, after you do the rituals, you'll be invited to a live full moon circle with me and other women who have completed the sacred pause. And I'm going to teach you how to use these rituals within the context of the cycle, the 4-season cycle, which basically marks the phases in any creative venture, right? The birth of it, the culmination, the recession, and then the rest. So all those 4 phases, you can sort of strategically time your ritual within those. And I'm going to teach you how to do that after you've practiced them once in a full moon circle with other sisters. So I'm really excited about that. And that is, of course, included in the $47. So head on over, experience it. And then once you've done that, you check your inbox and you're going to get the welcome email with the login instructions. You're going to get the login instructions that are going to take you to the welcome email. And that's when you will be sort of guided to set yourself up for success. And once you've set yourself up for success, then you can start practicing the rituals. And the first ritual is the water alchemy intention setting ritual, because of course, as with everything, intention setting is such a powerful way to make sure that what you're doing is going to get you where you want to go. So the rituals arrive in your inbox. They'll be on the course platform, but they'll also arrive in your inbox daily. They're in downloadable audio format. And then, like I said, I'm going to invite you over to the Full Moon Circle live with me and other women who have done it. So that's all very exciting. Let me see. I have a little section on the website where I talk about why it's so important right now. And I think I've kind of spoken to this already, but the world needs you in the best possible shape. It needs your soul. It needs you to be able to talk to your soul. It needs our souls to be in tip-top shape and to be able to lead the way and to lead our intuition, so that when we take decisions and moving forward, when we step into this leadership, we're doing it not only guided by our brains, but guided by our hearts. And I cannot say how important I think this is today. I think the pandemic has really highlighted that there hasn't been enough heart in the way the leaders have built, or the systems and the structures built by leadership haven't been heart led. They are not in alignment with the values of the majority of the people. And I would like, I would like for more mothers and to step into those positions of leadership and to live in alignment with those values. And we're not going to be able to do it if we're frazzled, disconnected, and overwhelmed. So if you're ready to exhale and reconnect and feel whole again, then head on over to alexandrahughes.com/sacred pause experience. I've got on the website a whole bunch of testimonials that speak to the power of the sacred pause and everything else that you need to know. If you do have questions, then you can send me a personal message on Facebook or on Instagram, or you can send me an email at alex@inessencecoaching.com. I'm here to answer all your questions, and you have until next Monday, the 17th, to get this amazing product for $47. So it's really been exciting to share this with you today. I would love to hear your thoughts, your feedback, your questions, and to connect over the value of this kind of a product in our world today and in your life. If you are a mother who is ready to be the change she wants to see in the world and to role model that for your little people as we create a generation of incredible change makers that are going to make this planet well again. Yeah. So I will sign off and wishing you a really beautiful day. Tomorrow I'm going to hop on and I'm going to talk about each ritual in more detail. So I'm going to get into the juiciness of the ritual. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I'm here for any questions. It's been such a pleasure. Bye.